Welcome to Economics Korea. Today we will discuss emission-free energy sources. For example, we are standing right now on the surface of Earth, under which there are lower layers that hold higher temperature. Yes, you guessed it right. I'm talking about geothermal energy, and we are coming to you today with a story of what Korea is doing with an energy source right here in today's edition of Economics Korea. But first, we'll begin today's program with a case of fuel cell technology. We'll show you how Korean scientists are taking steps into the next chapter, where we may be able to charge fuel cell batteries using recycled energy sources. Let's find out more about this interesting and exciting possibility right here in our EK Plus report.
Many countries are focusing their attention on using the two most vast gases in the universe, oxygen and hydrogen, as fuel cells. As hydrogen is becoming the next big fuel power, substituting fossil fuel, specific research worldwide is increasing. Recently, Korea also joined in the fast-paced race to develop fuel cells through nature's gift, hydrogen. Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, KAIST, developed a small unmanned plane operated through fuel cells and successfully conducted a 2-hour test flight. Also, unmanned patrol cars have been created. Though they only run for about an hour now, they could potentially run for 3 hours.
KAIST has succeeded in flying unmanned airplanes running off hydrogen fuel cell from 2007 as the first time in the world. Since then, their technology has improved more and more. So let's check on the system they carry into the airplane from now on.
KAIST is further expanding studies on hydrogen fuel cells to improve their efficiency and utilization. Current batteries are either disposed or recharged if they run out. However, fuel cells only need fuel and air to produce more power. Hence, these are being hailed as future energy sources. Many are forecasting out of the $60 billion worldwide fuel cell market in 2018, Korea will dominate about $23 billion. Hydrogen fuel cells require hydrogen gas and oxygen inside one space for electricity. But before this takes place, a reactor is needed to separate hydrogen through fuel catalysts. When this hydrogen fuel is sent to the fuel cell, power can be generated through electric-chemical reactions.
Hi. Is this the overall process that you generate electric power from the hydrogen cell energy?
Yes, you are right.
And what's the most important process?
To operate fuel cells, hydrogen is needed in its gas form. But due to the heavy tank weight to store hydrogen, it's difficult to place it on the plane. So we are storing hydrogen in liquid form.
So it seems like this catalysis reactor is the most important process. And can you tell me more details?
As you can see, in order to change the liquid hydrogen into gas, catalysts have to be used. And usually items for catalysts are quite expensive. However, we are developing and using cobalt to make this process cheaper and more effective.
To incorporate hydrogen fuel cells in planes, lightweight cells are necessary. Hence, a better catalyst is in the process of being developed for these hydrogen fuels. The cobalt-used catalyst, with lightweight electroless plating, is 1/10 the price of the previous white gold ones.
Electroless plating catalyst is different from previous electrical ones in that it uses chemical reactions, hence we are able to apply it in different places. Although right now it's only used in metal plating, in the near future, this style of plating could be used in lightweight items, and further study and research will be done to make this possible.
The small hydrogen-fueled unmanned plane is only 2 meters wide, 80 centimeters tall, and similar in size to those of the US military's vehicles in Iraq and Afghanistan. KAIST's unmanned hydrogen-fueled plane doesn't make any white noise and has an increased energy density of up to 10 times that of the previously used rechargeable batteries.
The fuel cell is being operated. Now the propeller will start moving.
KAIST's unmanned plane was able to fly up to 2 hours with only 500 grams of fuel. Thanks to fuel cell's low operating temperature, there was little heat damage and the test flight was significantly effective.
The unmanned plane operated by fuel cells that will fly about 10 hours and up to 60,000 feet in the air is in the process of being developed. If this vehicle is developed, then other various methods such as batteries and solar power could also be used to produce a plane that will fly up to 72 hours.
As fuel cell development systems have emerged, many predict the worldwide fuel cell market will continuously expand, with development as the main focus. For fossil fuels, as hydrogen is produced, carbon dioxide is emitted, which adds to pollution. Accordingly, Korea Environment Corporation built a hydrogen fuel cell development complex that uses methane gas. For a sustainable hydrogen economy, renewable and eco-friendly energy systems are a must, and this facility takes this under consideration. It's been constructed with domestic parts.
This device compresses up to 95% of methane density in biogas extracted from food garbage. The compressed methane density is used as fuel to change hydrogen into an applicable form.
The advantage of hydrogen emitted from methane gas is that it doesn't need other procedures to purify the hydrogen. Fuel cells are developed through fuel processors, electric generators, and power converters. These processes are environmentally greener and more effective than thermal power plants. The development system first removes the impurities like hydrogen sulfide and siloxane. Then high-end nutrification compresses up to 95% of methane from biogas. The compressed hydrogen is reformed and supplied to fuel cells. This newly produced hydrogen and air combined with oxygen reacts and creates 5 kilowatts of electricity.
Although there are many ways to use biogas, I think fuel cells will also lead to mass consumption. In the near future, after securing a promised demand structure, the fuel cell market using biogas can be expanded.
In response to this booming industry, the world's largest fuel cell plant will be built in Hwaseong, Gyeonggi Province. It looks like the Korean fuel cell industry is creating a massive evolution and development in the world market as well.
You know, global competition is really heating up in developing fuel cell batteries that last longer with easier method of recharging. And for this reason, Korea's efforts to build more eco-friendly batteries will surely attract ever greater global attention. Now we'll turn to the next segment, Weekend Review, where we will take a look at some of the recent leading headlines on Korean business and market developments.
Samsung Electronics for the first time scored a 41.6% international DRAM market share in the second quarter and placed first in industry. Compared to the previous quarter, Samsung Electronics saw a 2.7% increase in their sales. Also, with Hynix boasting a 23.4% market share in the same market, it proved the Korean company's dominance in the DRAM industry. Korea's lithium-ion battery outdid the previous major producer, Japan. This specific battery is rechargeable and widely used in laptops and cell phones. In this year's second quarter, Korea reached a 42.6% worldwide market share and took the first place in sales. With Korean smartphones and electric cars on the rise, this run towards the first place even in the lithium-ion battery industry looks promising for Korea. With its annual $60 billion orders, Korean construction business scored 7th place in the worldwide building industry. Following last year's 8th place, the recent increase shows Korean companies' vibrant growth internationally. Especially, the domestic corporation saw a 5.4% in Middle Eastern orders, following second after the US. Furthermore, Korea aims to dominate more Asian and African nations and continuously expand its construction businesses. For 8 months in a row, Korean shipbuilding industry has held on to its first place in international orders. Starting from February, domestic shipbuilding companies maintained its 60% sales and orders mark. Especially high-end and expensive ships including LNG received the most orders. Despite a steep decrease in shipbuilding business, Korean companies maintained with its first place and even saw a 5% growth in their orders. SKENC successfully raked in a $700 billion order from Panama to build its thermal power complex, Paco plant. This new coal thermal power plant will be constructed in Punta Rincon by Panama's Caribbean coast and will be the biggest of its kind, producing close to 150 megawatt of energy in that country. Through this recent contract in Panama, SK hopes to further its business in that part of the hemisphere.
In this program, Economics Korea, we have so far talked about several sources of eternal energy supplies, such as the sun, wind, and tidal waves. Now, we turn to the earth, where we see geothermal energy supply. And in Korea, we have already many places where scientists are actively engaged in developing and utilizing geothermal energy use. Our Powerhouse report here will take us to those places. Let's go.
The Earth's unlimited source of heat, geothermal energy. With its eco-friendly and consistent supply, geothermal is taking the front stage as green energy development. Let's meet another new possibility of energy available through high-end technology. Even now, different places in the world are exposed to the danger of volcanic explosions. Despite humans' efforts, it has been impossible to control the tunnel to the Earth's interior. The major strength of this monstrous mass is its heat amounting up to 4,000 degrees Celsius, and recently, many people are wanting to use this heat energy. Wind, solar, geothermal, wave, and biomass powers are major parts in the worldwide renewable energy market. According to the International Energy Agency, most of the world's renewable energy is currently produced by wind power, with geothermal closely following behind. Earth's extreme heat, geothermal. Why are we trying to make use of this energy?
The biggest advantage of the geothermal heat pump system is high energy efficiency. Since this efficiency ranges between 300 to 400%, heating costs can be decreased and saved.
So, is geothermal energy being widely used in Korea? In 2007, this golf course newly opened in Pocheon. And every year, this place is chosen as one of the top 5 affordable public courses. But here, there's a unique system in place, a geothermal system to conserve energy.
Due to high heating and cooling fuel costs, we introduced the geothermal system in 2006. After installing the geothermal system, we were able to save up to 65% of fuel costs and 150 billion won in bills.
The golf course is using the energy emitted from an underground reservoir that's 150 to 200 meters below for cooling and heating. With the decreased use of chemical fuel, the facility not only saves money, but also minimizes pollution. Then how is this unpolluted geothermal energy made? Many are here at a residential home construction site in Gyeonggi Province because workers are setting up a geothermal cooling and heating system. And right now, laborers are busy making a hole in the ground for the setup. Geothermal cooling and heating system absorbs the consistent heat maintained in the Earth's interior by a 160-meter or more deep tunnel. In other words, the Earth's heat saved up inside is changed into renewable energy for people to use through a heat pump.
Domestically, various facilities such as hospitals, dormitories, schools, and houses are setting up geothermal systems. At first, many people are hesitant because of its initial installation costs. Beyond that, people who went through with the process were satisfied with the system's energy efficiency and lower bills.
With the steaming summer heat and increased oil prices, many farms are experiencing a difficult season with expensive utility bills. However, unlike these suffering lands, this particular seedling facility in Icheon is on an ease, thanks to its geothermal heat pump used to cool the indoor spaces.
Close to 13,000 hectares of our horticultural facilities are heated through oil. Hence, it was important to find cheaper and environmentally safer ways to heat the farmhouses. So we decided to apply the geothermal heat pump system.
Horticultural facilities pay expensive cooling and heating bills to a point where close to 50% of their income is used for this compensation. Hence, many farmers are trying to find cheaper alternatives, and geothermal heat pump is just that.
Thanks to the geothermal system, fuel costs have been cut in half. It usually costs 8 million won per month, but now it only comes up to somewhere between 3.5 to 4 million won.
The geothermal heat pump principle is quite simple. After planting a geothermal converter underground, water is poured into this equipment, then absorbed into the ground. Then it is sent up to the heat pump above ground, and the pump condenses this heat to produce warm water and heat for indoor spaces. Geothermal heat pump has another secret. It can also create cool environments. Opposite from absorbing heat, during summertime, the system only needs to convert into absorbing and emitting cool air and water. The geothermal heat pump can be easily operated and monitored through automatic and remote control via internet.
The seeds are able to grow better and faster, since it's cooled just right, and depending on the seedling, it needs to be handled in low temperatures, even during the night. And thanks to geothermals, this perfect temperature is successfully maintained.
Various efforts are being made to construct Korea's first ever geothermal plant. Although right now, it's not a highly familiarized green energy, but soon it will develop as a necessity for many.
Building design and construction require many different areas of technology to nicely come together in order to achieve the world-class outcomes. And among these areas of technology, one of the first ones we notice when encountering a new building is that of automatic doors these days. Now here, we have a Korean company that is making different things possible with automatic doors, making them ever safer and smarter. Let's find out more in our business showcase right here.
More often than not, buildings all around the city come equipped with automatic doors. But did you know that not all doors are equal to each other? In fact, some come with self-sufficient security systems that are state-of-the-art. So today I want to visit a company that's leading this industry. From subways to buses, department stores to art centers, and apartments to restaurants, take a closer look around you, and the automatic door could be found everywhere. And recent innovations has updated the hands-free doors by applying sensors to its molding. Now the automatic doors highlight safety features as well. This is where they're producing a state-of-the-art automatic door system. Let's go inside and check it out. The company Ritz-N has been specializing in controllers used in automatic doors for 20 years so far. Their innovations are used everywhere from overhead doors to shutter doors. Most recently, they have developed sensors utilizing the ultrasonic wave, microwave, and infrared light. The current trend says automatic doors are in. It's highly celebrated for its convenience and its aesthetics. And so, parallel to the trend, Ritz-N continues to make improvements on its products. They assure that their product is agile and efficient. In comparison to other products, they say it takes 3 to 4 hours less to set up Ritz-N products.
설치가 간편하고 장고장이 없어가지고 설치해놓으면 일단 신경이 안 쓰이니까 그런 면이 상당히 편한 것 같아요. 성능 면에서 월등히 다 타사 제품보다 좋은 것 같습니다.
This sensor uses what's known as a Doppler radar method. It utilizes 24 GHz, so the sensor is much more precise. This model has a safety sensor installed, so when an object or a person passes by, the door opens automatically. This, of course, helps decrease the chances of unfortunate accidents. And this model uses what's known as the proximity sensor. A proximity sensor is able to detect the presence of a nearby object without any physical contact. As you can see, no contact is necessary when you're utilizing the proximity sensor, so it's highly appreciated in locations such as hospitals and restaurants. The Ritz-N company hopes to apply its technology to a variety of venues. Its most recent achievement was the application to automatic door for the handicapped.
예, 이 제품은 장애자용 자동문 스위치입니다. 문을 열고 내부로 들어가서 내부에서 닫힘을 누르면 사용 중이라는 불이 들어오면서 문이 닫힙니다.
This model functions without a cable.
예, 내부에서 닫힘 버튼을 눌렀을 때는 외부에서 열림을 눌러도 문이 열리지 않는 자동문용 센서입니다.
This model assures privacy with a switch that can only be controlled from inside. The automatic doors brought us convenience, but it had also brought upon a whole series of concerns for its accidents. The Ritz-N company hopes to minimize this rate and propel as a leading company in the industry that brings convenience as well as safety.
Well, we have already reached the midpoint of September, which means the last quarter of this eventful year is opening in just about 2 weeks' time. And from this point on, actually, we'll have a lot more stories we will want to share with you about how Korean business and science communities are opening more sustainable economic future for this country as well as the world. And we are quite excited about this mission, and that is why we want you to come back next week, right here at this program, Economics Korea. See you then.